looking for gold, hoping to find the things that were lost, just enough riches to cover the cost. Being 20, 50, or 1,000 or more, just enough gold to cover the score. Not enough silver to balance the tab, no matter how deep you dig. Silver and gold makes the men crazy, makes the women. All right, folks, if you can hear the sound of that music, guess what? It's time for another American Diggers Relic Roundup. We are the weekly, long-running podcast every Monday night. We're a video cast actually now. And you can also see back issues, I guess we would say, of this show by going on to Facebook or YouTube, I do believe. But with that being said, it's the 2nd of March. We got a great show scheduled tonight. One of our authors is going to come on. And, or we hope he will. We always have a few technical difficulties just to keep everybody excited. But with that being said, we're sponsored by American Digger Magazine. We are the only metal detecting magazine left in the United States in print. And that's right, we're really in print. We actually have a real magazine. If you want a copy of it and you've never seen us, then doggone it, get in touch with us and we will send you out your very own sample copy of American Digger Magazine. And for the jet setters amongst us, we also are available in digital. So with that being said, let's bring on my engineer and longtime co-host from Colorado, Mr. Jeff Lubert.
Hey, thank you very much, Butchie. Hi, everybody. I am Jeff Lubert talking to you out of Denver, Colorado. I am a member of the Eureka Treasure Hunters Club. You can find out more about our club by going to our website at www.eurekathc.org. And there you click on the tabs to read the newsletter, get entry into the club, read back issues of the newsletter, look at the bylaws, all that good stuff. See all the fun we're having out here in Colorado. Check us out, www.eurekathc.org. I'm also a sales associate over at History Seekers Metal Detectors. If you want to talk to me how you can upgrade your machine, you can give me a call. We'll talk it over. Never going to sell you anything you don't need. Give you some of the best prices out there on the internet. Also give you great service after the sale. If you have questions, you can give me a call. I have no problem with that. So give me a call. Let's talk it over. We sell all major brands. So 303-618-5179. Now, what do you say we bring Debbie on? Where's Debbie?
Let's do that. All the way from Missouri.
Missouri?
Missouri.
Where's she at?
You're going to get an applause, you suppose, or, well, it's close as we can get. Sorry, come on, Debbie. Thank
you. Hello there. They say if you say Missouri, it's the southern half, and Missouri is the northern half, or at least that's what I understand anyway. I hear both.
No idea.
Yeah, I say Missouri. So I say misery.
I won't go there.
No, really.
Y'all live in a beautiful state.
Yeah, it actually is. There's actually beautiful things here.
And God bless your law enforcement out there for keeping
everyone. You were going to go there. I knew you were going to go there.
I'm just saying. I made my donation.
Just saying. Well, I am Debbie Schiffer Blades, and I am the senior editor for American Digger Magazine, and I am also secretary for Laclede County Treasure Trackers here in the beautiful state of Missouri.
Or misery is anything.
Or misery.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. So how y'all doing tonight?
We are doing great.
Absolutely. I mean, today, 72 degrees out here in Colorado.
Lord.
And Bill, thank you for your service, brother. That's just kind of an inside joke. Anybody that puts on the uniform is a hero to me. So thank you.
Absolutely. Did either of you make it out?
Not a bit.
But I'm fixing to.
All right.
Tell us first, Jeff. You made it out. I know you always make it out. You usually find the ring, usually give it away to somebody. Tell us all.
Well, Stephanie got a call Sunday morning as we're lounging around, and we had to drive an hour and a half to go up to Keystone to find a lost engagement ring. The young lady has had this ring literally for 1 month.
Oh no!
To the day that she lost it. They were out in a bar having a few drinks. They went outside, and it was just starting to snow there. And the ring had fallen off her hand a couple, 2-3 times in the past, in the last month, and it literally fell and disappeared into the snow. We spent, I don't know, maybe 15-20 minutes looking for it, but I ended up finding it. So yeah,
I have a question, Jeff. Is that a real diamond?
That is a real diamond. And tell you what,
she had it tested. I mean, I'm just saying,
Well, this ring is actually made in Leadville, Colorado, from the gold mine out here in Colorado, and they actually had this custom made. They, the guy that made it had all these diamonds, and he put it in there, and
that is amazing. I mean, that's more carats than Bugs Bunny ever saw.
And you notice I actually had fingernail polish on there when I was taking the picture.
What's that?
Well, my fingernail polish when I was taking. No, hold on, wait. That's
that's your fingers. Yeah, well, that's okay, Jeff. This is 2026. We don't ask for tell on this show.
Such dainty hands.
We're all adults here.
Yeah, so
I think they're rather cute.
Yeah, when you call myself or Stephanie, they get the two of us. We go out and work as a team. So
you are a team, and you are an incredible team.
It's Jeff's stuff.
So,
Jeff and Steph.
Yep, it's the Jeff and Steph
and Jeff show. Oh, we're gonna have the Steph and Jeff show after this. I like it.
We are, so that's the detecting I did on Sunday. It was beautiful out here in Denver. I was hoping to get out and do a little detecting in the parks or do a little relic hunting, but we had to go out and help a young couple, and very thankful. And
really, Jeff, think of how happy you made that young couple. Think of the money you saved them.
Yeah.
I mean, that was almost his ex-wife before they got married. If you hadn't found that,
exactly.
Ring. Yeah,
she needs to go get one of those ring size or things that you put on a ring to make it stay on her hand if she keeps losing it.
Yeah, we mentioned that, and
get a bee sting or something.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just one of those things where, once again, people are asking about, is it viable to use a metal detector in these locations? And a lot of people don't know what metal detectors can or can't do.
They don't. They don't. And hey, okay, go ahead, Jeff. I'm looking at these random facts, and this just came up, and this is good to know. This is just good doggone information to know. I'm going to use that. Thank you, Beltwood.
In case you were wondering.
I have been wondering that.
Well, I feel better. I feel safe now.
I feel much safer. And thank you again for your service, brother.
But anyway, as I was saying, some people don't know what metal detecting is all about, nor how to use them.
What do you think that they would do in a case like that?
They should read American Digger magazine read in particular this article.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Our friend Chip Kirkpatrick.
Yeah, and we actually
my second favorite writer in the world. That's the truth.
In the February issue.
Yep. And so you got it there. I have it here. Butch can't find it because it's Butch.
I sent them all to customers. What can I say?
Well, let's bring on Chip. We've been having him on.
I bet Chip's got a current copy, and I know we sent him out some copies for his article today. Let's bring the man on.
Chip, there you are.
The legend. Chip.
Good evening, all. Good evening, all.
What's this button do?
And by the way, Jeff, in line with your recent find recovery, a little story I'd like to share. The very first recovery I ever made, and I just made my 45th the other day, by the way.
Good Lord, Chip.
Nice.
But I was hunting on Panama City Beach when two guys came up and asked me if I'd look for a ring. So they led me about a half a mile down, and there were about a half a dozen people kicking sand and everything. And I just automatically knew they were in the wrong spot. It took me practically no time at all to find it, but it's the most magnificent man's ring I've ever seen.
Wow.
Big and heavy with 4 massive diamonds in it.
Wow.
Now, the interesting thing about it was the guy's wedding band, and he had gotten married the night before.
Oh,
And yes,
Oh,
his
gosh.
bride was sleeping, and his friends convinced him that it would be funny for him to leave her and go to the beach with them.
Oh,
And he
God.
promptly lost that ring.
Uh,
Oh, man.
He offered me $20 after finding his $8,000 ring, and I turned him down, of course. But I offered him $50 if I could keep it. And he turned me down. But I always wondered what his honeymoon would have been like if he'd gone back without that ring.
Which honeymoon, that one or his next one?
Yeah, true. But good find, buddy.
well, thank you. That's
And God bless y'all for doing that, for returning rings.
And by the
Yeah.
way, Jim, you have a matching lipstick for the nail polish. Just curious. Because I know you're very fashionable, and
He is, man. He's
those kind of details.
a mover and a shaker.
But
you
I
want
want
to see me
thank y'all-
shaking
You
there.
ever notice we don't see him from the waist down, and we should thank God for that.
Well, I want to thank you all for inviting me back on again tonight.
Well, thank you,
Always
Chip.
a
You
pleasure
just
to
like family here.
be- Yep.
always like having you.
Great.
Good article, by the way.
Yeah,
It's a great article, Chip. And like I say, man, you're my second favorite author.
Well,
Yeah,
I still want to ask, who is Stephen King?
I know. That's amazing.
yeah.
His actual name is Richard Bachman.
Yes.
Oh, I don't read for politics. I read for entertainment. That's all
There
I
you
can
go.
say. Yep.
So, what brought about the need for these Detecting 101 classes?
Well, it began with the local metal detecting club. A few years back, we had a growth spurt of membership, and I had permission to hunt a number of local college campuses, and I got permission to have a club hunt there. And in no time at all, we had to suspend the hunt because it was like having an 18-hole golf course. There were holes and damage everywhere. In fact, the president and I spent about 2 hours repairing the damage, but I lost the permissions anyway. So what we did was we had a couple of in-house classes that we dubbed 101, and it was to bring the newbies up to speed. And we did them for a couple of years, and they were very effective. But they kind of phased out because when we would have like a club hunt, which we opened up to the public, we would have an abbreviated one, mainly covering how to dig holes and so forth, because we didn't want to cause any damage to the properties we were hunting. But everybody wanted to spend their time swinging rather than listening to lectures, so they kind of phased out. But a couple of years ago, I had another article in American Digger called "Can I Dig Holes in Your Yard?" And it was about how I market and advertise myself so that I can get permissions more easily. And it was things like using social media, Facebook, Nextdoor, sites for historical groups, and so forth. And writing newspaper articles, magazine articles, appearing on TV and radio shows, and constantly talking about metal detecting online. It got me a nice little reputation, which made it easier for me, of course, to get permissions. But one of the side effects of it was I also became a target for people that were either just getting into metal detecting or didn't doing it. And whenever somebody would approach me, I would tell them, I said, don't buy anything until you get a chance to hunt with me. And the arrangement was that I would provide the equipment and a crash course, and their part of it was to get a permission somewhere where we could hunt. But I realized that I was really shortchanging them and kind of cheating the hobby because I wasn't giving them all the really in-depth background information that they needed in order to be an effective and good ambassador for the hobby. So it occurred to me that maybe I should provide a class for people that really wanted to learn the ins and outs of metal detecting. So I posted on Facebook on a couple of sites that if I could get 5 people that were interested in the class, I would hold one. Well, I set my expectations way too low because the first one, I think I had something like 39 people respond and 34 people attend. And the second one, I had 19 people sign up and 25 people attend. But obviously there was a real need and interest for this kind of information. And so once I started realizing that I was getting this kind of a response, first thing I had to do was find a place to hold the hunt, or hold the class rather. And this was a lot more challenging than I had anticipated. As I put in there, I realized I wasn't going to be able to get a space for free, but I had no idea how valuable an empty room with a table and some chairs was to certain people. So I searched places like the library, museums, civic groups, and so forth. And boy, did they ever want, reimbursement for that. And so I was lucky enough to find, there's a bookstore here on Amelia Island that sells my books, and they have a meeting room, and they were gracious enough to allow me to hold the class in there. And in return, I would donate any profits I made off of the admission for the class. So setting a date was a bit of a challenge, because as I put in there, one thing you certainly don't want to do is schedule it on a Saturday during college football. But eventually I was able to find a date and time that was amenable to most of the people. And I began preparing for the class. Like I said, I wanted to talk mainly about the background things that people would need to know to be an effective hunter. Gave them information about metal detectors, the different components and what they did. I did a minimal comparison of certain manufacturers and models. Because it was held on Amelia Island, there was a lot of interest in beach hunting. So we talked a lot about freshwater versus saltwater detecting. The equipment you needed, the preparation you need to make, laws and regulations, just really a very in-depth class on what people needed to know more than just how to turn on a machine and swing it.
Right. The hard part, the rules and regulations, because each township, each county, it seems like they're all different, and trying to keep up with them is difficult at best.
Oh, very much so. Like in Jacksonville, Florida, which is just south of Amelia Island, the parks are off limit. St. Augustine, just south of Jacksonville, there's no hunting inside the city limits at all.
Even on private property?
Where's that at?
Supposedly, right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the archaeologists down there have really made it a sore spot.
You say St. Augustine?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a shame. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, archaeologists, even if you're listening right now, you will not be able to get even a 1,000th of the artifacts that are to be had down there. So the option is to let them rot in the ground. I just don't go with it. But
yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, it is.
So anyway, that was the gist of it. I demonstrated gridding, how to dig a proper hole. Talked about all the various equipment. Gave them a list of places they could buy equipment from. And Jeff, I included you on that.
Ah, thank you, sir.
Checks in the mail, Jeff.
That's right. but it was a really good class. I had young people, I had middle-aged, and I had a whole bunch of old who really got in more than anything. I told them to bring their equipment if they already had one, so we could talk about it, and if they had any questions on it, if I could help them out, if I was familiar with the equipment. And like I said, I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from it.
I can see why.
Mm-hmm.
Now, have you held this class multiple times? Do you do it like once a year, 3 times a year?
I did it 2 years in a row. I didn't do one last year. I figured I'd let them rest. But I'm starting to get more inquiries, and so I'm kicking around the idea of having a third one.
Now, the trick is for this hobby, you can sit there and learn all you want indoors, but to get outside and then swing, that's the next great step. So I hope that this bookstore had ground for you to go swing a coil on and actually.
Yes, there was a grassy area in the back. So I was able to go back there and demonstrate, proper swinging, gridding, how to dig a hole. And then I'd actually thrown a couple coins around, so let people either use one of my machines or their own. And then, I've made myself available to them after the class. So if they have questions, I stay in contact with several of them that are very active.
Did some of them have an idea already of what they were doing and just wanted to perfect their techniques, or were they just all rake amateurs?
They were pretty much all rake amateurs. They had a machine. They didn't know how to make it stop buzzing.
Mm-hmm.
What the signals meant, what pinpointing was, what ground balancing was. And the rest of them, were curious. And I will say, I had about a half a dozen in each class that I guess I talked them out of it because they realized that it was not going to be an easy venture.
It's not, yeah.
Well, and it's not.
It's work.
It's work, but it's also not. It can be an inexpensive hobby, sport, whatever you want to call it. It can also be fairly expensive as well. I mean, if you're thinking you're going to get into a nice metal detector for $100, $150, you can get a starter model. You're not going to go out on the beach and do it. And then if you're going to be out on the beach, the sand scoops, the water scoops, those are expensive as well.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the few hobbies though you can actually make your return back if you're willing to let go of things, but most of us aren't.
That's true.
Yeah. We've dug a fortune and we're still poor.
Yep.
Yep.
I want to throw this out there too. Chip is featured in several stories in Never Makes a Skunk 3. He has actually given me a great help in it and is even writing the forward. So more on that as we get closer to it. But thanks, Chip, for what you've contributed.
Oh, it's a pleasure. You know that. I always enjoy working with you, Butch.
Yeah.
But one of the things too, I'll talk about a couple funny stories. There's a picture in there in the article of a young woman, and her baby daughter is not that one.
The one on the first page, I think.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Funny story about that. Like I said, I've had a number of people that wanted me to teach them, and it was like, okay, I'll bring the equipment out and teach you, and you find the permission and so forth. That woman's husband was the one who contacted me, who wanted to learn. And we did it in their yard. They had a place that had some potential for some older coins and relics and so forth. This guy was about 25 years old, about, I would say 6'2", 6'3", 210 pounds, just buff as he could be. In about 15 minutes, he got so worn out because he wanted to swing that thing like he was bench pressing. I kept trying to tell him to slow down.
Yep.
And I kept trying to demonstrate how to keep that coil level. But he got so tired, he gave up. And his wife, who I think the daughter there was like about 3 or 4 years old, and she had a 4-month-old baby in a sling on her hip, took that metal detector and started swinging and had the best time.
Awesome.
Done it for about 3 hours.
Wow.
The daughter did the pinpointing. She dug the hole. And I told the husband, I said, you ought to get her a metal detector for Christmas because she's a natural.
Really?
Yeah,
But
really.
he was pooped out in no time at all, as muscle bound as he was. And
It's,
it kind of brings up the question, which I've always heard, is that women are better at metal detecting because they have a more natural swing.
I've heard that before, and generally more patience with things. So, I mean,
Well,
they have to put up with
my wife
yeah.
who's given up on me. But yeah. But anyway, I had to put that in there because it's one of my favorite photographs of her and that little girl digging that target.
That's
a great picture. There it really is. And I would say that little girl is going to remember going along with mama too. So you might have another. Gosh, this means you're going to be teaching classes till you're 97. That's 5 years from now.
Closer to 2 weeks, I think, where I feel right now.
It's okay, Chip. We age in riders years. They're not like real people years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And another story I like out of the article that I have a lot of pleasure in is the story of Mike. Mike called me and wanted to learn how to metal detect, and I made him the same arrangement. You know, hey, I'll bring the equipment. Blah 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 blah. Well, we never got together because he lives an hour and a half away from me, and he worked at night. So every time we would make plans to get together, something got in the way. He either had to work overtime, the weather was bad, health, or whatever. Mm-hmm. So finally I said, the heck with this, Mike. I'm going to teach you how to do this over the phone. So I found some videos for him to watch, and we talked. I kind of explained things. And then I helped him get a good deal on a used detector and a pinpointer. And I said, now go find something. Well, 2 weeks later, I get a phone call from him. Strangest phone call of my life. I pick up the phone and he's whispering. And he's whispering so low, I can't understand what he's saying.
That's a bad sign.
Very bad.
Yeah.
So finally I interrupted him and I said, Mike, why are you whispering? Well, I don't want anybody to hear what I'm trying to tell you. And I said, okay, where are you? I'm out in the middle of a big field. Well, I figured there's a festival or something going on. He's surrounded by people. So I asked him, are there a lot of people around you? No, I'm by myself. I said, well, quit whispering. What are you trying to tell me? His next 5 words are indelibly burned into my memory for life. They were, I just peed my pants. And I'm like, Mike, why are you calling to tell me this? And he goes, I'll send you some pictures. And he hung up. So I turned to my wife and I said, I don't know what's going on, but I'm afraid I'm about to get some photographs of Mike's urine-soaked trousers. And a couple of minutes later, I get these attachments. And I actually was afraid to open them. But I finally said, what the heck? Let's see what's going on here. And open them up. And as soon as I saw his pictures, I understood. Because I have to admit, if it had been me, I'd have done worse than peed my pants. His second target was an 1876 $20 double gold coin.
Oh, God.
I said, I will not believe this until I hold it in my hand. The photographs I have of it, it's in my hand. Not only that, but about, I don't remember how many months later, he found a $2.50 gold coin.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Was it in the same field by chance?
I don't know because he won't tell me where he found it.
Oh,
he learned well.
He
Learned
learned.
well. Yeah, he learned fast.
Yes, he
Well,
did.
I take it back. He did tell me where it was within a 50-mile radius. But every time we talk, I start the conversation the same way. I say, Mike, I hate you.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, you love me. And I'm pretty sure I have it right.
Oh, well, you know, if blackmail's not off the table for him taking you to where he found that, I can Photoshop a picture of him urinating in a field. I mean, it's just, one of those things. Blackmail works.
Yep.
I wouldn't do that, probably.
But and also one of the things I did in both of these classes, I stayed in touch when people would call me and tell me they wanted to come. I put them on my list and stay in touch with them with emails and so forth. Because one thing I've learned is you have to constantly remind people, because some people don't know how to use a calendar. So if I wanted them to show up, I had to stay on top of them and keep in touch. But after each class, I took every attendee's contact information and mailing address and sent to the lovely Miss Anita so they could get their complimentary copy of American Digger.
Excellent.
So hopefully your subscription list bounced up after that, because I'm sure once they got the magazine,
I'm sure it
they
did.
fell in love with it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing the love there. But I mean, we may put it out, but it is a great magazine for not only learning to detect, but to keep your interest in it. I mean, it's amazing.
So I'm always referring people to it.
Yeah, thank you. Checks in the mail to you too, Chip.
Thank you.
I promise that to a lot of people tonight. Just remind me if I forget it. I'll ignore
Please
it.
just spell my name correctly. That's all.
Hey, speaking of paychecks and all that.
Wow.
It is time.
30 minutes. Yeah, well, let's we will be back after these words from our sponsor. Did I do that right, Jeff?
The Vortex by Garrett has arrived. Revolutionary, visionary, extraordinary. Look into the earth with precision and depth. Understand the target before you dig. Find less trash, more treasure. Introducing our ground-busting multi-dimensional multi-frequency technology. Complex analysis of a target's conductive and ferrous properties. Sharp, accurate, graphical target ID display. With this robust detection system, lightning-fast target separation, and fully submersible down to 16 feet, you'll hunt farther and faster than ever before. The world's first fully transformable detector. Vortex by Garrett. Embrace the storm.
We want to thank the lovely and talented Miss Debbie Schiffer Blades for putting that together for us. And she let it out of the bag, folks. We will be at Digstock this weekend. So stop by and say hello to us. And you might be glad you did. So I'm just going to give a little teaser there. That's all I'm going to give. But might just want to stop by the tent and say, what's up, guys?
Well, I'll say that's a nice teaser. I tell you what, it's always good.
Teaser there. Just the event itself is going to be a lot of fun. It's like any other well, it's not seated, I don't think. It's like any other event, you either find something or you don't. So there'll be a lot of real happy people. There'll be disappointed people. But overall, it's just fun to get out swinging.
Well, that's the one thing about, these, like the dig stocks, the DIVs and all that.
Am I back on?
Yeah,
you're here, Chip. You're here.
Okay.
Nobody talk about Chip for a minute.
Sorry?
I said, everybody quit talking about Chip. He's back.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, there's plenty to talk about, I'm sure. A couple of things other that I wanted to add as far as the way the classes went. One great subject of interest was where to hunt. And, you know, I talked to them a great deal because, like I said, it's on an island. A lot of people want to hunt the beaches. We talked about the difference between freshwater and saltwater hunting, the type of gear you need for hunting the beaches and so on. But I spent a lot of time on things like curb strips and what they were and how valuable they could be. Talked a lot about how to get permissions, including having a good business card, how to approach somebody. But I did, we had a little discussion group on what I call metal detecting topography. And I had an easel with a great big flip chart, and I sketched on it a piece of property with a home site, a garage or stable, garden area, outhouse, clothesline, mailbox, water features, trees, and so forth. And I posed the question, if you got the opportunity to hunt this property and you had 1 hour to hunt it, where would you start and concentrate your efforts? And we talked about like trees, how important they were before air conditioning, and how valuable it can be to hunt underneath them, because of course that's where children played, that's where men rested after working in the fields. The wives would sit out there and, you know, sew and prepare foods and so forth. How most traffic in and out of a house came from the back of the house, because that's where the garden was, that's where the stables were, the garage, outhouse, and so forth. The value of hunting around water, going back and forth to the mailbox. And it really opened up their eyes to the possibilities that a property could hold. And it was a lot of fun because everybody had a different opinion. So that's something that if you're going to hold one of these classes, spend a lot of time on, because they will really benefit from it.
Well, and you know, I love the idea that that's multiple opinions on that one. You know, especially from those that haven't detected, and you sit there and you and
Any
I.
questions or comments or anything I can add?
I say it's interesting that, you know, the thoughts are. I don't know, Chip, can you hear us at all? I don't know if Chip can hear us.
I don't think he hears us.
Uh-oh. Can you can hear me though, right, Debbie?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
And I can hear Chip.
Yeah, I can hear Chip.
All right.
I think what happens, the internet gets so overloaded when we have Chip for a guest, it just flips out. Can you hear us, Chip?
I can hear you.
Can you hear Jeff?
Can you hear us at all? Can you hear me?
No.
No?
Wow.
Can you hear me? I don't think he's hearing. He only hears.
So did none of what I just said come through, or what?
Yeah, it came through fine. I heard it.
Okay.
I think Debbie and Jeff are just ignoring us, so we can talk bad about them now. Hey, Jeff, who does your hair?
One hair?
Oh, and, hey, folks, it's the beauty of the internet. You know, don't try this at home, kid. We are trained professionals, or, well, untrained professionals. Well, we're just untrained Three Stooges, but anyway. Just
you say, Butch, you're gonna have to manhandle.
I will interpret it. Ask a question, Jeff, and I'll interpret it.
So I was just loving the fact that, you know, those
do an interpretive dance.
Yeah,
I intend to. Okay, let me interpret what Jeff said. Jeff said he thinks your beard looks funny and he doesn't like your hair.
Was he talking to me or Debbie?
No.
No, he did not say that.
Debbie.
He didn't say that.
Yeah.
What was the question, Jeff?
I was to say, I just love the fact that those that haven't detected had an opinion where stuff was, you know, lost when we go out and we we seasoned detectorists have our own theories, and it's just interesting to me that the newbies or whatever have a different idea.
He wants to know if the newbies had their own ideas about where they should detect, and if it actually was good or not.
Most of them had no idea. They thought they could do schools, which in Florida is illegal. Certain areas, the parks are open. Certain areas, they're not. And I tried to convey to them that their best opportunities are to seek private permissions.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I demonstrated for them how I approach somebody. I stress the value that I think anybody that's going to ask for permissions from private people should have a really good professional looking business card. And I shared with them mine and my ideas on it. I have a marketing and advertising background, so I've got a pretty good grasp on, how these things should be set up and what should and should not be on there. But really, they were kind of clueless as to, once I get a metal detector, what am I going to do with it? And those that had already bought one had no idea what a pinpointer was. So we talked about that at length. And we talked about things like, what is the right kind of digger to take out in public? Because some of them want to take something you would use in your garden. And I told them that's the absolute worst kind of representation of this hobby that you can take out in public. Out in the woods, great, but not where people can see you, because it conveys the wrong message that we're out there digging huge holes and damaging landscape and so forth. So it was very eye-opening for many of them. And, we also talked about the other things that you should take, such as bug spray, sun lotion, water, and the value of taking a cell phone with you in case you get into trouble or find something you can afford.
Amen. That's something back in the early days we didn't have. And I went many a time, and I'm talking about in the late 60s, early 70s, and all, many a time by myself. And if something had happened, there's no way I could have gotten in touch with anyone. So at least nowadays, take a cell phone with you. Plus, it's good for pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well,
but all in all, the classes were very informal. I tried to make them entertaining. Spent a period of time. I showed some of my best finds, and also talked about how I found them, where I found them, what kind of equipment, how they rang up. Talked about cleaning finds as well. Showed them my rock tumblers and my brushes and so forth that I use. I can't say I covered everything, but it was as much as I could. It was A to Z on what somebody starting out should expect and plan for, with this hobby.
I wonder if there would be an interest in some of these people for like a advanced class, or for general detectors for that matter.
I'm sure I'm always trying to learn more.
Yeah. And Glenn can teach a class on what not to do. Yes, I know you can, Glenn. And yes, Glenn, I remember those cannonballs you speak of. Oh, I like this one. That one's for Mike. Oh my goodness. Jeff, are you still silent?
I am not silent. I am here, but I was also wondering about the trash and take the
Maybe
trash
he's just
out.
moving his lips and not really saying anything. So
he is. He's actually. It's like a bad Godzilla movie, but What was that about trash, Jeff?
Yeah, about
you don't call our guests trash. No.
No, they taught them to take it out and
yeah. Did you
find it? You take it.
did you teach the people to take their trash out of the woods with them, and also to clean up their holes?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, one of the things that I taught them, I said, never go metal detecting with an empty pouch. Because whenever I head out, I've always got a handful of rusty nails, bottle caps in my pouch. So if I'm ever approached by somebody challenging what I'm doing, I can prove the value of what I'm doing. Well, look at all the crap I've been picking up.
Good point. Real
And
good point.
also things like, straws and cups and so forth. Yeah, that's a good point, because it's one thing that I'm very, very anal about. I preach over and over again. The idea is to leave the property in better shape than you find it.
Amen. Absolutely.
I mean, on 3 occasions, I've buried dead animals I found on properties.
Wow.
To clean them up.
Wow.
A couple of them were not rather fragrant either, but still.
Well,
but if somebody's good enough to give me permission to hunt their property, I want to treat them right.
absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. And there's some more good advice there.
And also, whenever we talked about curb strips, which a lot of them were really surprised to find out how much stuff can be found in there. But I talked about which properties to hunt and which ones not to. Because if somebody's obviously taking care of their property and they've got it manicured and, grass growing there that's trimmed and cleaned and flowers growing and all that, stay off of it. Go to the next one where the guy doesn't cut his grass or, there's garbage on the ground. Search that one to your heart's content. If curb strip hunting is legal in your area, which it generally is. Because it's, we're all ambassadors for this hobby. And it only takes one person to tick off people to where more and more restrictions happen. That's why in Jacksonville, parks are off limit, because somebody went out there apparently and caused some damage. And because even though it was one person who did it, now nobody can enjoy it.
That's right. One, and I'm not even going to say dummy, but one person that's ignorant of how to leave the property can ruin it for everyone. I mean, that's all it takes. You can have 500 great people out there and one bad one, and it shuts it down for everyone.
Yep, there was a club hunt here on a very exclusive property. It took a long time to get permission, and it was fenced in. Well, the groundskeeper agreed to come and open the gate early in the morning, and it was like from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And he said he'd come back at 3 o'clock and unlock the gate, but he had to lock it back. Well, somebody got tired and decided they didn't want to hunt anymore, and they actually took a pickaxe and broke the lock.
Oh,
and
no.
it wasn't
my gosh.
either. Well, not only were we under, the obligation to replace that lock, but we never got permission to hunt that property again either.
Was the culprit ever called, or?
Oh, we knew who it was.
But unfortunately, they didn't care then.
No. But they weren't welcome to.
That's right. Yes. It's, you can deal with a snake, just know they're a snake in the future.
Yep.
Wow. That's a shame. And that's one thing, metal detecting etiquette. I don't know if that's what this is right here or not. Well, this is just some good tips that we threw in there with the article. But
yeah, I like
the code of ethics says it all, folks. Read that code of ethics and go by it, because that's what gets us into being able to hunt a place continuously.
Or not.
Or not. That's right. Or not.
Oh, and one thing too, I'll pass along a little tip that I had in there. When I was talking to them about gridding, you can get out in a big open area, and it's really hard to cover all the ground because you're not necessarily walking in a straight line. Well, most hardware stores have these, what they call driveway markers, and it's a thin little plastic stick with a reflector on top of it. I take 2 of those with me.
Good
and
idea.
what I'll do when I'm getting ready to grid an area, I'll put one in the ground, and I will hunt a certain distance. Got to make sure you don't go so far that you can't see the marker anymore. But I'll turn around and put the second one in, and then walk in a straight line towards the first one. When I get to it, I pick it up, move it around, turn it back in another spot. And if you do this for a couple of bucks, you can cover just about the whole area because you will walk in pretty much a straight line. So
That is an excellent idea.
Mm-hmm.
yep, easy and cheap.
Yeah.
With
You
the
know,
nice-
I'm not as tedious about it as I used to be, but I could hunt a so-called hunted out site by actually gridding it off and making sure I got every possible inch I could. I'd find a lot of stuff because people were just walking through swinging willy-nilly. So gridding is very important.
Well, not
Well,
only
also-
like they say, you know, no area is ever hunted out. I once got permission to hunt an old football field. And I started hunting from sideline to sideline. Took me 2 days. I found, if I remember correctly, 2 gold rings and about $20 worth of change. Now, I worked that thing slowly and carefully. But then I did it end zone to end zone. Took me another 2 days. I found another gold ring, a silver ring, and another $20 worth of change.
Wow.
And then I went sideline to sideline one more time, found about $5, and that was it. So I called it. But I had gone over that thing carefully and still missed that much stuff.
It's amazing. It really is amazing. And I mean, you are an extremely experienced metal detector, and folks, especially, I think most of the people in here tonight are pretty familiar with metal detecting, but this just goes to show you don't write an area off too quick. Approach it from a different angle. Approach it on a different day when the ground is wetter. You know, that changes targets too. But you can usually pull something out of a place no matter how bad it's been hit before.
I say that's goes true for about any site, whether it's relics, whether it's a beach, whether it's a yard. So
Jeff says that goes for any site, and then he also said some bad words, which we're not going to tell you. This is fun. I like this.
Actually, I could hear him that time.
Oh, yo! Now I look like the bad guy. Great. Oh, well. Hey, it's my show. Well, one of 3. It's my show.
well, I'd say, is there, because we're actually getting close to being done for the night. It's one of those things where what any other advice?
No, just have fun. That's the main thing, which is what I stress to them a lot too. It's not about the finding.
It's not.
It's about getting better. You know, one of the things I stress to them, new equipment's coming out all the time, but I know people that have got the latest and greatest, and I still stand that somebody who's got an older, maybe less expensive machine, but knows how to really use it will out-hunt somebody who is learning as they're going, basically.
That's it. I would dare to say that all detectors are not equal, but any name brand detector that's been made especially within the last 5 years, even 10 years, they're good. You might can go a little better. You might can go lighter. You might can get more depth, but you're going to find something with them if you stick with the name brands and better detectors.
Yeah.
And I think you use a Garrett normally, don't you, Chip?
Yeah, I'm a big Garrett's fan.
Okay, good machine.
I have 3 AT Pros and a Max. And the reason I have the Max is because a good friend of mine, the guy who got me started in metal detecting, basically had a White's. He bought the best machine, most expensive machine there was at the time. And this guy was brilliant, but all he basically knew how to do was turn it on and turn it off.
Yeah.
And I was finding stuff, finding stuff in circles around him. So I finally convinced him to go to a Garrett machine.
Yeah.
and he bought him a Max. We bought an ATP, liked it, but decided to get a Max, and then died 2 months later. So
Oh no.
I bought it from his widow to
Yeah,
help her out, and also as a remembrance of him.
that's good.
And then I've got an Apex, which I also like, and maybe one day I'll be convinced to try a Vortex. But I like my machine. It's old, but it's dependable, and I know how to use it.
That's the main thing. You start out with a quality machine and you know how to use it, because I don't care what you've got. If you don't take the time to learn to use it and learn all the nicks and ticks of it, you're not going to find as much as you should.
Yeah.
And there's Chip the chick magnet.
Yep.
Well, I'll say right there, he's got the AT Pro, and
Yes, he does.
Yeah. So,
And
Yep.
he's got the ace.
He had a
and
Max.
yep.
great
Yeah.
picture there. And you've got to start somewhere, folks. And you know what's sad when you see or hear about somebody buying a metal detector, they're all into it, and then they never really learn to use it. And so they get bored with it, and it becomes an expensive clothes horse.
Well, that's one of the reasons why when people ask me, what to buy, I tell them to start with something inexpensive and easy. I started with the Ace 250 and loved it. Still use it on occasion. And it's what I use whenever I'm training somebody because it's easy to use.
It is.
But if it's easy to use, you're going to find stuff and you're going to have fun.
That's right.
And if you have fun and you're finding stuff, you're going to do more and more with it.
Then you're going to want to invest in a better one. But yes, you got to start out with something easy that you can use that'll find stuff.
Yeah, because I got a great deal one time on a Mine Lab, Terra 705. And the story was this guy bought it for his father for a Christmas gift. Well, they put batteries in it and turned it on in the house. And they couldn't figure out how to make it stop beeping. Took the batteries out, put it back in the box. Dad put it in the closet. Died a year later. The son was cleaning out the closet, put it on eBay, and I just happened to be there in time, and I got it for like 30 cents on the dollar because he wanted to get rid of it.
They at least took the batteries out, though, because that's a big no-no. I speak from experience.
And that was another case of a machine. It was very similar to the AT Pro, but there were enough differences that I wasn't as comfortable with it as I was with the machine I knew better.
Right.
I eventually ended up giving it to a friend. There's just, something about it I couldn't quite get in tune with.
Well, and having multiple machines is not a bad thing either. I mean, you can loan one to a buddy that wants to learn, or just.
Yeah, I have 13, so yes, I agree with you.
Yeah,
and my
need
wife
that backup.
Why do you have so many machines? But yes, there's a use for all of them. I mean,
there is.
They all have their own strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
But I keep going back to my Garrett's.
Nothing wrong with that.
No. Glenn wants to know, you might have mentioned it. Have you tried the Vortex yet?
No.
Okay.
I'm kicking around the idea, but like I said,
if you're finding stuff with what you've got, then there's no reason to upgrade. I mean, not
well, not only that, but I'm not hunting as much as I used to. Health issues and weather have been detriment. But I'm hoping to get better and stronger and get back out there once the weather clears up a bit.
I hope so. And I got to get with you and us do some hunting too, because we've been great friends for a long time, but it's just that few 100 miles makes a difference getting together sometime.
Yes, it does. But I'd love to do it, Butch.
Well, Jeff, we about used up this time.
Yeah, it is at the top of the hour actually right now. So
it is. And Debbie, I don't know if Debbie's on here or not. She's on here, but we hadn't heard anything she said. Oh, she is coming through.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know if Chip could hear me or not. So I, haven't.
You didn't want me interpreting for you, did you?
I don't trust you.
I don't blame you. You know me very well, lady.
Say, do you have like a website or something you want to give out there, Chip? Something that you're
No, I don't have a website.
Well, let's say you got books.
Oh yeah, this guy has books. And folks, Chicken Soup of the Soul, Chip is in about half of them, it seems like. So if you're at the bookstore and see one of them, see if his name or my name is in one of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
And if it is, buy 20 copies.
yeah, Butch is in the other half that I'm not in.
We make a heck of a team, don't we? Share those donuts across the miles.
I was laughing about that today. I shared that with somebody.
Oh, just to tell that story real quick, folks. The Chicken Soup for the Soul, the authors in each book have a video get together with the publisher, and of course, we're across the whole United States. About 15 or 20 of us, all authors in one of the books, and so Chip and I got together, and I actually held up a box of donuts here in Georgia and say, Chip, you want a donut? And Chip actually picked up a donut from his end down in Florida and said, thank you. And it blew everybody's mind.
Yep.
They still think we're some kind of time traveling matrix.
Well, I had asked if they were going to, serve refreshments.
Right. Yeah. Chip set it up.
Well, Butch hit it out of the ballpark.
Pow! Just teed it up, man. Called the shot and everything.
The looks on people's faces.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
But if you want to read some good stuff, check out any of Chip's books, and he's also a great animal activist. So thank you with all the things you do for the critters, Chip. And actually, Tweedles, his chicken, who unfortunately passed away, won the most cutest pet in American Digger last year. That contest is running again, by the way. There's Tweedles right there.
Yep.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah. She was a handicapped chicken that could not walk.
And even I fell in love with her. So get this book, folks. That's available. If you can't find it, get in touch with us. We'll tell you how to get it.
Yeah. She inspired. It's about handicapped children learning how to deal with bullies.
Yeah. Your work will live forever, Chip. That's the cool thing about being an author. It'll always be there somewhere.
Well, Butch, Jeff, Debbie, I want to again thank you all for.
Thank you, Chip, and we look forward to your next. And of course, I announced it earlier, but I'm looking for my thing here on it. Chip has actually contributed and helped a ton, and has Debbie too, on the upcoming Never Mesa Skunk 3. I don't know when that'll be out, probably in the summer sometime, but I'm guaranteed to make you laugh. And like I say, Chip and Debbie have really put their sweat and tears into it too. So, but thank you for being our guest tonight, Chip. We really appreciate it. And Jeff, we need to get on out of here, don't we?
We do.
All right, good night, all.
See you, Chip.
See you, Chip. Thanks, brother.
Much appreciate it.
Oh, and to read great stories like that, folks, all you got to do is subscribe to American Digger Magazine, or, hey, pick up an individual copy. However you want to do it. If you've never read it, get in touch with us. We'll send you one. So with that, Jeff, you got anything you want to say? And then Debbie, and then I'll end up with it.
All right. Just want to put it out there one more time. Thank you once again, Chip, for joining us tonight. Greatly appreciate it. That man is one of our great guests. Start him up and step back and let him talk, because
I love it. That's our favorite guest.
Full of knowledge, and it's just a great speaker.
Debbie actually had a cardboard cutout of herself in front of the screen for half the show. I'm gonna try it next time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try it as well. But I also want to put out there once again, if you're in the market for a new detector, whether you're just starting, whether you have a few years, a lot of years under your belt, over here at History Seekers Metal Detectors, we have some of the best machines out there on the market. We have some great service after the sales, and give you some of the best prices out there online as well. So give me a call, 303-618-5179.
Operators are standing by because they won't buy chairs. Okay, Debbie.
Well, I have nothing much to add. I know you and Anita are going to be at the Dig Stock.
We are.
Weekend.
One of the rare times Anita's actually going to be an event, because usually she stays here and minds the office, but this one was closed. Well, closer than it would have been for Debbie to come out there. So you'll get to meet Anita at this one and stop by and see what this is all about. So
There you go.
check
Yeah.
the penny out. Ooh,
Whoop, whoop.
penny. I saw one on eBay the other day for $19. It was just a penny.
A penny.
A penny.
So it's British.
I don't know.
Crazy.
Well, it had to be. U.S. doesn't have a penny. They
I
have a
could have
cent.
bought it now for you, Jeff. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, folks, thanks for tuning in tonight. We really appreciate it. Be sure and tell your friends and neighbors about us. Tune in every Monday night. I might not be here next Monday night. I'm not sure, but Debbie and Jeff will. I may be coming back from North Carolina, but if I'm here, I'm here. If I'm not, then just pretend I'm here. Everybody behave, children, behave. So good night, everybody. Where's the music? Where's the band? Cue the band up. Yeah. What I'm talking about. If you like good music, folks, why are you tuned into this show? Thank you, everybody.
I'm gonna go out swinging. I won't go down without a fight. I'm gonna go out swinging. All I got left on my rights. I don't wanna be no outlaw. I don't wanna be no Jesse James. I don't wanna be no bad guy. I just wanna be free again. Pirates and outlaws and soldiers, gold doubloons and some musket balls. All that remains, those who left no names, hidden beneath the soil. You say this land is your land, but you say that I don't have the right. And I think you're forgetting that I have a dog in this fight. 'Cause I'm